Welcome to the Vault, presented by Dorkbuzz, an alwayspressrecord.com production. I'm your host, AB, and tonight I have with me from Dorkbuzz, Brad, and from alwayspressrecord.com, I have Trey. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
Man, I'm ready to go into this vault. See what we got today.
Welcome, gentlemen. Today we have from Imaginarium Arts, we have the brand new Starscream statue from their Legends of Cybertron line. This is the fourth piece in this line to come out. Previously released, we have Optimus Prime, Jazz, not Megatron, not yet, but Ironhide, and now Starscream.
I know you brought back the Optimus Prime. You brought the Optimus Prime over to the studio a while back. Is that part of the same line?
Yeah, that was the first piece to come out and kind of set the tone for the whole line. In all honesty, it's probably the most boring piece out of all the ones that I've seen so far.
Did it really have like an elaborate base? Because I saw that this one, just the pose alone, I thought it was a very good, action pose.
Yes, the pose on Starscream, I agree. It's much more dynamic. You really feel like he's actually doing something. Optimus Prime had a much more elaborate base because all he did was stand on it and, hey, what's going on? But
yeah,
he wasn't really doing anything.
The thing about Transformers is that they are something that is in part of the everyday life, which is like a car, right? You know what a car looks like. You know what a car that would turn into a robot would probably look like. So there's like the paint on the statue. I notice how like metallic it still is, even though it's a fantasy character, don't you think? Don't you think that would be something that they take into consideration?
Yeah, on the Starscream, much more so than the previous releases, they really dialed up the brightness and the shininess of the metallic features. Although, as once it's together and you start seeing some of the parts that look like they've been machined, parts of the wings in particular, those are done in such a way that they really look realistic to what you would expect a weathered piece of an airplane wing to look like.
They almost look distressed, like he's been in battle.
And then you combine that with the fact that the reds are very red, the blues are very blue, and that harkens back to the Generation 1 cartoon that,
Yeah, I feel like the boldness of the red and the blue kind of make it pop from a 3D perspective. It really stands out. I think it's beautiful. Let me ask you a question on that base right there. What do you think that weighed?
Not enough. Pulling it out of the box, it did not feel like it was as weighty as it needed to be. But once the statue was all together, it did feel appropriate. The Starscream pieces are deceptively lighter than what I expected, especially like the right leg. It's almost certainly hollow, it seems, because it's so much lighter than the left leg.
And these are magnets that are holding it together?
Yes, like putting the leg wings or rudders, I don't know, putting those pieces on. Really, the concern there, due to the strength of the magnet, is just making sure that they don't leap out of your hand and connect too strongly. Another piece that I have of theirs, the Soundwave. The torso, the lower torso and the upper torso were like that, and the magnet was so strong, sucked it out of my hand and actually cracked one of the pieces.
Oh my goodness.
Thankfully, though, after contacting Imaginarium Arts, they are sending me a replacement piece. It was very nice of them.
Well, that's
Did
cool.
you have to break apart the whole statue? Was
No.
it one of those?
No, thankfully it wasn't. Due to the size of that piece, as that is over 2 feet tall.
Yeah.
Closer to 3, honestly. It's mammoth. It has 2 upper torsos, 1 lower torso, different arms, so you can get different poses out of it. So I was able to do a different pose.
Now, I've seen from some of the other statue manufacturers where they come with alternate weaponry and hands to hold the weaponry. Did this come with just the one set of hands and the one pose, or?
Correct. Starscream did not come with any like exclusive pieces, whereas the Rodimus Prime and the Soundwave both had EX versions, so to speak. Jazz has an EX grappling hook attachment, which looks really amazing when you actually get to see it.
Yeah.
And then Ironhide has different guns, and you can swap out the backpack for rocket launchers, I think. I don't actually have the Ironhide yet. He's coming, but I'm not. When I can, for the same amount of money, when I can get Starscream, I'm gonna take Starscream over Ironhide.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, just today, actually, they showed the first pictures for the limited edition Skywarp. That's only 200 pieces, according to the email.
And this was number 63 or 65, right?
I want to say it was 65.
Yeah.
I always say I'll remember, but
no,
I don't.
We should have took a picture at the time, but we never. But we looked at it and we were like, oh, okay. So is it slotted in at the bottom? Or is it just a magnet holding that 1 foot down?
No, Starscream's left foot has like a 1-inch block that is smaller than the foot that actually goes inside the base. There's a cavity for it that holds it in a particular angle. Mm-hmm. And then coming out of that little block beneath the foot is like a 3/4 of an inch metal post.
Okay.
And that metal post fits deeper into the base to keep it from wobbling. Like you can see, spinning it on the Lazy Susan, as well as touching it to put the pieces together, it doesn't wobble. It's in there firmly, but I mean,
that's
it
what
is
I was
top
surprised
heavy.
about. Like a few times as we were spinning it on the Lazy Susan, I was like, "Oh wow!" But it really held together, and it didn't look like it was going to tip or anything like that. But it was definitely. I think it's what would you rate this? Scale to 10.
I feel I'm a little more critical than most. I'm going to give it a 7, but I think it should come back about 8.5 for most people. 7 for me.
That's interesting. So let's take a closer look over at what was going on. I know that there was some writing on the side. Was there anything elaborate with the packaging?
No, the packaging is very nice. It falls in line. It is exactly what I expected based on the previous releases.
Yeah.
I do like how it has the tech spec from the G1 toy.
Okay.
On the side of the box. That's what you can see in that frame right there.
Nice.
And so that's a nice little throwback. You know, why waste time writing new copy when you can just use it's an officially licensed product at this point. So why not use what's already? Why reinvent the wheel?
Mm-hmm,
You know.
Mm-hmm.
And good use of that. Picture of the item is used on the outside of the box. Although it's in black and white, you still get the gist of what you're actually buying. And the way that they pack their stuff, I really like it. I wish other places would take note. That's we need to move in this direction. Right? It's one big block of foam cut into 2 to 3 sections, depending on how many pieces in the set. And it all fits together nicely. They're all wrapped in paper to hopefully prevent paint rub.
Well, that's what I don't really enjoy about some of like my sideshow pieces is that once you get it out the first time, it's not really made to go back in, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Right. This isn't something you want to take in and out of the box multiple times. You want to set it up and leave it there.
Well, and I think that's the difference between the soft foam packaging that they use versus that hard styrofoam that sideshow uses. Yeah. I think it's a beautiful statue. I think it's very well done. I think the level of detail that they were able to get out of something that scale is phenomenal.
Yes, I completely agree with that. The amount of detail and the quality of the detail, that's really where the piece shines.
Absolutely.
The from far away pictures really don't do it justice. You know, at that, like what we see in the frame now, like it looks good. That's a good looking statue. But if you really get up on there and really look at what some individual took the time to craft, it will exceed your expectations. There is good quality detail in there. And the only reason I scored it so low is that I have seen better work on previous releases.
Well, thank you, everyone. That's the vault for this week. Anything to say, Aaron?
Can't wait to see what we get next week.
All right. Bye.